Oh, not good connection here. Hey, hello. Hi, Blessing. How are you? Yes, I've picked the wrong time today, haven't I? People are rushing home from work if you're in the UK. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the power of agreement today. Hi, Esther. How are you? Hi, Christy. Yeah, the power of agreement. I've just been looking at a couple of scriptures that caught my attention today. And one of the things that I really thought about was agreement, especially in finances, is a key thing, especially for everyone out there who's married, or it's quite important to have a level of agreement in that area. Hi, Della. Hi, Saziso. Hey, Melody. Yeah, I was looking at Genesis 11, verse 6, which says, if as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. So this is when they were building the Tower of Babel. And they were getting up, they were almost about to reach heaven because they were in agreement. And God says nothing will be impossible for them. Hey, Christy. Hi, Precious. And, when I look at most of our plans, most of our dreams, the reason we work hard 9 to 5 or 10 to 10 or night shifts is because we're planning on something for our family. We've got plans in place. We've got things that we want, to achieve. We've got goals. We've got dreams that we're aspiring to. And a lot of them, either require money, or the reason of saying, oh, yes, I've been successful in this is how much money did I make out of it? So, who you're partnering with, who you're doing business with. I'm going to focus on families today. So your spouse, it is so key to have a language of agreement between the two of you when you're looking at finances. Another scripture was Joshua 23, verse 10, which was talking about, Leviticus 26, verse 6 to 8, where God was talking about the blessings for obedience. Hi, Linda. Great to see you. And it says, I will give you peace in the land, and you will be able to sleep with no cause for fear. I will rid the land of wild animals and keep your enemies out of your land. In fact, you will chase down your enemies and slaughter them with your swords. 5 of you will chase 100, and 100 of you will chase 10,000. All of your enemies will fall beneath your sword. So God is talking to his people here and saying, I will give you peace in the land. So this is the land that you're building, the estate that you're building, your family, the properties, the things that you're planning for your household. God wants to give you that peace, If you look a little bit before that, he gives instructions, not to worship any idols, just to obey him, so that this peace will come. So there are things that we can do that bring us out of alignment, and we start to stress, and we've got panic, and things get a little mayhem. But I just wanted to bring it down to a little bit more practicality. So I said agreement. So here 5 were chasing 100, and 5 of you will chase 100, and 100 of you will chase 10,000. So you can see that when the combination of people agree, the ability for them to chase down a lot more enemies increases. And if we begin with your family, when you and your spouse agree, the things that you will be able to achieve are just insurmountable. If within your family, so say the Ndoro clan, if we come to an agreement about certain things, the things we'll be able to achieve are insurmountable. If the neighborhood that I live in, if we come to agreement about how we deal with things, my goodness. If as a nation people come into agreement. Come on now. So I think you're getting the picture of it. But I just want to bring it down to the basics, which is the household issues here. And last time I talked about the rock, and building your house on a rock and having tangible things that you can actually say, yes, I've got this. This is a security thing. This is a weapon. This is a tool of, protection, the various tools that you use to put in your foundation so that when the storms come, you're able to stand. But now you're building this house, like, the people of God were doing in those times. And they were in agreement. They were about to reach the sky. We always say, oh, the sky is the limit. I'm going to reach the top, So this agreement has got to be there, especially if you're doing things with somebody else, if somebody else is involved in this. And one of the areas that I look at is once you've got all these things in there, and insurance is in place, and I've been talking about, okay, you've put the insurance in place, then one of you is not there. But you had plans that you meant to reach at as a couple, right? So one of the first things that puts that security around what your plans were is a trust, making sure that what you had put in place is earmarked for the things that you wanted them to be earmarked for. I think I mentioned last time that, hey, people are smiling at you today, but you will know who really, really has your best intentions when you lose your other one, because everyone is leering at the funds or the money for this. But not only just relatives, if you have money that just goes into, life insurance, for instance, out of a trust, it'll simply go into your estate. And anybody that owes you money, so your debtors, the loans you have, the credit cards, they will all have first dibs at this money before it goes to your loved ones. So again, as you build the things that you're doing, ring fence them. In Africa, most places you have a dura wall around your house. You put an electric gate, you secure it. So as you're building this place, you're also ring fencing things and making sure that there's a security in place there. And again, it's so key to come into agreement with your other partner or your other half as to what are we going to do in this circumstance. If, for instance, along the way, you separate, but you have children, as an example. Your children are a sign of an agreement. At that moment you had them, you were in agreement with each other. And they are still reliant on the plans you had for them back then. So despite you two having an argument or not getting on well, you should maintain the things that ensure that the children's well-being is still going to be established. The things that you wanted for them in the original position are still going to take place. So trusts are just one of those things that will enable you to ring fence the things that you're building up. So as you're building your houses, as you've put your foundations in place, now you're building. You have to come into agreement with your other half. If you're a single individual, really decide for yourself what things are going to take you where you want to go. So anything that is not in agreement with your plans, just cut it off. Just say, you know what, at this point, I can't be doing this because it's off track with what I want. So there's so much power when you agree, because you are partnering with something. Yeah, Tabith, thank you for sharing that. You're just saying that insurance is important. Tabith, you lost your husband last year, and she was left in a good position. Thanks for sharing that, Tabith, because I think sometimes we think it's a remote thing. It never happens to us. We're okay. We're young, but making sure that that's ring fenced and earmarked. The things that you talk about when you're sitting together. Oh, yeah, she's going to go to Cambridge. Oh, we want to build 5 houses. Those plans can go on, and you're still in agreement, despite the other partner having been promoted to glory earlier on than you have. The things that you earmarked can still go ahead. Again, another issue, especially with the trust, I've had a lot of people inquiring and saying, well, actually, what if my husband remarries and then my kids don't get anything. I've seen somebody who his wife died. He's driving a brand new Benz and living the life of Riley. His kids are struggling out there. Again, it's so important when you have that trust in place. You specify. You're not just paying out into an insurance or having a policy in place. You are actually specifying to say, in the event of my death, my daughter Susan is going to get 50,000. The son John will get 20. My husband is going to get whatever percentage you want on this. So you specify prior. And it's also good to be in agreement to say, okay, guys, let's face it. This is the reality. If I were to drop down today to, you're not going to be single until you're 80. We're in our 20s right now. I don't want to think about it. I want us to grow nice and old together. But the reality is, what is the best thing to do for these little ones that we've brought into the world? How will we ensure that the things that we desire for them is going to come to place? So it's so key to come into agreement. That I just want you to remember that word. If you don't do anything else, come into agreement. I know it's difficult because money is one of those issues. It brings a lot of stress and strife, even in the household. You love to shop as the woman and the husband is, a miser, whatever. And, you think, oh, let him do his thing, let me do my thing. It works better that way. And it's almost, that's what I kind of call refusing to deal with issues now. So you're putting like the rubbish under the carpet. Because the minute you shut that door and let each other do things that the other doesn't know about, guess what? The minute he or she is ill, it's all going to land on you because you two are one. So if she owes money, they're going to come to your house for that money. So it's best to actually know what each other are doing and to come into agreement. I know it's difficult. Sometimes you don't agree on things. Someone wants to do this, but just the acknowledgement that, yep, this thing is there, or this is happening, or this is taking place, is so key so that you're in the know. You know where things are. You know where things are placed. You know what's going to happen. If this happens, okay, mom is going to get this, sister's going to get that. Let it be clear. Let us have these conversations. Let's come into agreement with one another so that we can continue to build this amazing tower, so we can begin to build this amazing life that we all dream about, the things that we want to achieve. We shall fulfill them as we agree. So I hope that blessed somebody today. I hope that's encouraged someone today to start that difficult conversation that you've been shrugging under the mat and thinking, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Oh, you'll start to think I want to kill him more, but, let's come into agreement. Let's put things in place. Let's secure and ring fence the things that are for the things that we want them to be. And we shall fulfill the things that we want to do. So thank you all for listening. And have a great evening. I'm getting ready to do my pickup for my little one. So mommy hat on. Have a good evening. Bye.